Hey, so this is Mr. Hug and Kiss, and oh, sorry, that's Mr. Hug and Kiss. I'm Tiger, and this is just a couple of guys raised in the '90s, and we're just gonna be doing some talking. We're very new to this. There's gonna be some technical difficulties. We're switching between Bluetooth to wired to computer over and over again. The next one will have video in it. This one doesn't. We hadn't figured that out yet, and we're just kind of fumbling around seeing what's going on, but we have figured it out. It'll just be the next one that gets posted that'll have some video on it. um, did want to mention that don't know. We reminisced a bit. There is cigarette smoking, and there is some drug use, and discussions around that. There's discussions of someone's disability. We talk about our gay marriage, lottery winnings. I end up having to clear the abandoned house next door, and we discuss carrying a weapon around. We also talk about social media, subscription services, masking up, sexual assault of a trumpet and douchebag, the trumpet section stereotype, and squatting. Those are a good handful of the topics. Everything else should be kosher enough, but if not, let us know.
Oh, Mr. Hugginkey, that's what.
Hey, the
Uh,
Tadhger was good, buddy.
yeah, I was missing you, man.
How is it going, dude?
Dude, I'm fucking climbing that mountain. I see the peak. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to see another peak. But right
Yeah,
now, yeah, yeah. I've. This is a second peak. Yeah, I'm good right here.
yeah, I'm feeling good
I'm
myself.
gonna. I'm gonna. I'm gonna chill right here and just look at the view with how high I am right now. Man, I miss fucking weed.
Yeah, I
But
feel you. It is what it is. I just get too paranoid when I smoke. Like honestly, I like smoking. I like the ritual of it. I like loading a bowl. I like passing it around. I like talking with people over it. I just get so paranoid. It has gotten like I've gotten less paranoid with the recreationalization, whatever the word is.
yeah, the
Corona.
decriminalizing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Oh
gotten
no, it's totally
better.
legal recreational too. Yeah.
Yeah, recreationally, it is. Yeah. So
Oh,
I've
okay.
gotten less paranoid with it, but I still just have these lingering after effects with it, like all the
No,
time.
I hear
So
you.
I just don't smoke as much. Also, I feel like my brain kind of slows down, or I get a little bit too. What is the word? Oh God, I don't remember. The word is like something along the lines of. People tell me I get too deep. They're like you're just trying to be deep, and I'm like I'm not trying to be deep. These are my thoughts. I'm sorry, you know.
Oh gosh, fuck that, dude. Those are the
Yeah.
best fucking conversations.
Well, it's just interesting. Being deep is one thing, but if you're being like overly deep, then
I
that's
mean, if you're
another thing.
playing Wonderwall with your deepness, then yeah, I hear you. Every dude who has a fucking guitar knows how to play fucking Wonderwall and pull that shit out, or whatever the fucking meme song is. Yeah, if your deep
Right.
thoughts are fucking playing Wonderwall, then yeah, I get you. But I mean, if it's actually something that's interesting, even then, even if it is a little bit of Wonderwall, fucking jazz it up a little bit. Why ain't you ass on the fucking
Sure.
microphone?
Sure. No, and I agree. I'm
Maybe
just
take a motherfucker on a journey going down that they needed to go down. That's why they keep repeating it, but they couldn't see the path, and you're the light. So fucking, why don't you just move them all along with the conversation instead of being a dick about it?
right. Well, it is what it is. I mean, that's just what people have told me. They're like, "Wow, man, you're deep," and then other people are like, "Wow, you're just trying to be fucking deep right now." And I'm like, I mean, I'm just high, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like
Yeah,
it's just like one of those
no, I get you, and
things.
yeah, and people don't have the patience for that. If they actually have to think instead of being able to just text you with their mouth, yeah, it people don't like that shit. I'm not a big fan of it either. So
I really
fuck them.
like that analogy for surface level.
Yeah,
Conversation
you just
only
text
is
your mouth. That's
text
all
with
it
your
is.
mouth.
Want to have a
Yeah,
conversation, no, otherwise I don't feel like texting with your mouth. So I don't. Yeah, my
that's
mouth.
beautiful. I fucking
Fuck.
love it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want those kind of people in my life. Anyways, you want to have a conversation? Let's have a conversation. I don't want to just be. I
Uh,
like the screen. I don't want to text people anymore. I used to a lot, and I do text a book, and hopefully that's to get them to be like, I don't want to read this. It'd be easier for my ears to hear it.
yeah.
And
Well,
then
I
they
think
want to
that
call
having
me, text me, but usually just drives them away with like, fuck, too long, TLDR all day long. Um,
right.
Yeah, no, no, I
No,
absolutely hear
yeah. Well, but I think that surface level people are actually kind of necessary in your day to day life because, like, look, if you're only ever talking to interesting people 100% of the time, you're gonna get exhausted. Like trying
that's true.
to read perspectives and trying to like
It's
learn
gotta
new
be a
things
nice break
from.
though. I hear you, but it's got to be a nice break because, like, if you're working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a fucking week, that only leaves you. I don't remember the math. I've done it before. I think it's like 167. You get like 127 hours. You take 8 of those at seven is 56, which it only brings you like 62 hours. You only get 20 more hours in your week than you do on the work week. Most of your a
Right.
significant amount of your conversations are going to be with who you work with. A significant amount of the population works for fast food, fucking customer services, the biggest one of the biggest industries. Most of your
Yeah.
conversations are going to be a bunch of surface level shit. So I mean, it's also then if you're shutting down any form of deep conversation, then you just want to have work conversation too. That's even fucking.
Well, well, no, I'm not saying shut it all down. I'm just saying
No,
that
I'm saying they
sometimes it
were.
is.
I'm saying they were just like, or they weren't into it and moved on instead of listening to you or enjoying in the conversation. They're just like,
Yeah.
uh huh, yeah. And then I want to text you with my mouth now. I want to go to work and have a conversation at the cash register instead of having a real fucking conversation. Yeah.
But I'm just saying sometimes it is kind of nice to just relate to someone on a very basic level, just like, yeah, I like boobies, and then be like, me too, boobies nice. And sometimes it is kind of nice to just have that conversation where you're not trying to just enlighten someone or be enlightened. It is kind of
Oh yeah,
nice to
no, I
just
heard that too. And then you're also the other thing is that's but yeah, no, they were most likely saying, "Hey, I don't, I'm cool, not cool with this conversation. I don't know what your situation was as far as head state and all that, but they might have been like, hey, dude, yeah, I get to that you're deep, but I just want to talk about movies. And
yeah,
even
for
then, I don't
sure.
want to talk about movies. I just want to talk about like them, not some metaphysical bullshit. So can we just not? No, I hear
Yeah,
you. I hear them now. Yeah, no, I hear them too. That could have very easily been the tone.
yeah, no, either
Yeah,
either way.
anyway, sorry. Tangent, fucking detour on that shit.
Yeah.
All right.
But he like I said, he's got this thing where his brain essentially doesn't function correctly a lot of the time. So he brings two aspects to the table. There's sometimes when he can only ever have very base level, surface level conversations, or he gets like super deep because he was a very deep person before. He's a musician. I've been in bands with him. He struggled through heroin with me. He is a very emotional and a very intelligent person. It's just sometimes he cannot get on that level because his brain won't let him. And so I think that he would make a perfect Jamie, by the way. I know that's fucked. We're like here on a
No,
podcast
not at
talking
all.
about.
I mean, so is it that his brain won't let him go there? Because it seems like he has a switch. Basically, his dial turned into a switch.
Yeah,
Um,
well, but it's not a
is
switch.
he
It's just
capable? See, I guess that'd be the question: is he capable of the thoughts, or is it that he can't
yeah,
communicate?
he can't communicate. No, yeah, and I agree, and that's why I think Eric would be really good. Though Eric is a very, but no,
Okay,
he's like he's 30. He's about my age. He
okay.
like I said, he's got a thing.
And it was by an
It's a health
accident,
condition.
like he got into a car crash or some shit.
No, I don't even know what happened. We'll have him explain it.
Okay.
It is a fucking long story.
I'm just trying to
So
think of the perspective between it happening when you're, well, oh, dude, fuck, it's so much conversation. But I'm really curious about the perspective, and only if he's comfortable with it. But I'm
yeah,
pretty interested in the conversation about if that kind of thing, or let's say
hmm
going blind at 22 versus born versus 66, or fuck it, 69 because nice. At what point going blind, like what would be the different experiences of doing so? Like living your whole life that way from birth, never being used to it, versus having seen so much but so little in compare, so much in relatively, but then so much that you're gonna miss for the rest of your life. And then 65, when you've had so much to see and you've seen so much, granted you don't get to see anymore, but fuck, you've seen a lot, or even fucking 100.
right.
Kind of curious as to like if the 65, the 69-year-old, because nice. Um, if with their blindness and having been able to see all the time and all the things that they've seen, do they have a slideshow of their life behind their eyes?
Right.
And they're just chilling. Like, is their TV the images? Because they can see, they remember at 65, you remember the greens, you remember the blues, you remember the colors, you remember people's faces, who you do remember.
Right.
When you're not born with it,
Which,
you only have other people's, or when you're born with it, you have people's description of it. So if you're 65 and you go blind, is your
mhm.
TV sitting on the recliner or sitting in your rocking chair with your drink in your hand while the sun goes down? Are you just replaying those memories? Is that would be the sense that I would want enhanced
Hmm.
for sure. Like if that whole sense enhancement, if you lose one kind of situation is done, that is absolutely 100% the one. I want my memory to be jacked up to superhero levels because I want to be sitting in that fucking rocket chair with my drink at the sunset, just having the slideshow of the last 65 years in my head.
Sure. I
I
mean
mean, it was
that's
69. I don't know why I keep saying 65. Fucking retirement age is bullshit. See, I can always bring everything back to fucking politics, but 69 for nice. That's the superpower I want if I go blind at 65. That would be an entirely different
you want.
experience 20 years old than fucking.
Yeah, you just want a 69. That's all it is. You
Oh,
fucking
fuck yeah.
hobo.
No, do you not want to?
No, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, precisely. Who doesn't?
You know, I remember we were talking about getting legally married together for tax
Yeah, yeah.
purposes and
Oh, dude,
everything.
I'm chopping this bit out. Fucking 1414. Because that is kind of fraud.
14.
I don't know if, yeah, 14,
It's
14,
not.
14 minutes or 14 seconds. You sure there is such a thing as platonic marriage without it being a fucking.
Bro, if you're married, you're married. It doesn't fucking matter. What are they gonna do? Be like, oh, you went and got court documents signed and you paid the fucking fees to get married? You're not. You're faking it.
Yeah, but you're
No,
fucking
you
with
paid the
taxes
fucking fees.
enough money for them to not care.
Right, but that's the thing though, is you paid your fees, you got the license, and you did all of the things. Whether or
But
not
then
you're
you get tax
motivated by
benefits.
love doesn't matter.
But you get tax benefits, don't you?
Yeah, but you paid your fees and you got your documents signed. It
Yeah, so
doesn't
you're
matter.
fucking. I mean, yeah, I mean, we are married. You're right. So it doesn't
Right,
matter.
but that's
Marriage
what I'm
really,
saying. It's like if
all it is
if
now.
you marry someone because they have a lot of money, it is no different than marrying someone for tax benefits. As long as you dot your T's and dot your T's and cross your I's, it
No,
doesn't
I like
matter.
T's and crossing my eyes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. As long as you,
Cross your eyes, my dude. You should try it. Just cross your eyes. The world will look totally.
but yeah, as long as you do all of the legal prep, it doesn't matter. They can't fuck with you because you don't have to get married because you're in love. You can get married for a plethora of reasons. You can get married because you have kids together, or you can get married because you want to adopt kids together, or you can get married because you want tax
It's a
write-offs.
good
As
business.
long as you,
What better fucking way to be American than to get married because you're doing it for a business deal for tax purposes and to make things a little bit
right,
easier once this shit gets all legalese. Goddamn.
right,
Uh,
as
yeah.
as long
What
as
better,
you go
what better
through
way
the
to be fucking
process. What?
American? Oh, no. Yeah, yeah, dude, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's dot our T's and cross our I's. Fuck yeah. Let's get married. I
I
love
mean,
you,
we
Andy.
might as
Marry
fucking
me?
well. I love you. Mwah.
Be the dude. You want to propose to me?
What?
You want to be the dude and propose to me? Or be the chick and propose to me? Because that's where I just propose to you. But I mean, if you want to do it, I'll go ahead. I'm trying to give you consent for that. Fuck, giving
Right.
consent for marriage proposals bullshit.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
dude,
like,
you're simply asking. That
yeah,
really fucks up the whole proposal.
right.
It
But
doesn't
yeah,
have to
yeah,
be a surprise though. Like that's something you can just kind of throw out there on the couch and make the surprise later. Like just
yeah,
watch
man.
out of the middle of nowhere, you got some fucking super doopy hoopy love scene, and you're just like, hey, want to act that out?
I mean, we
There's a
could.
proposal, and just see how she reacts.
I mean,
That kind of like throw it out there. I mean, you got to be kind of a goofy dude that's willing to make voices and do acting kind of stuff and dance around and shit.
sure.
Be a Jester. But but no,
Well,
there's that's the way I would do it. There's all kinds of different ways to pull it off.
no, for sure.
You
No,
could
there is.
definitely ask that and then hook up the surprise later.
Right. I mean, you could
I
do
would
it any.
I would say give it about like 2 months, maybe three. I'd give it like 2 to 3 months, enough time to be like, what? She says? Was he not? Is that manipulative?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea if
I mean, I know
manipulative
I'm
is.
changing my behavior, but I'm also planning on something special. But then it's also incorporating what their reaction is versus just doing it because this is the special thing that I want to do. So is that
Okay.
manipulative?
Well, but is your intention negative? I think is the real question, because everything that humans do to and for one another is manipulative. Like all of it, 100% of it is. Like there's
Well, yeah. I mean,
no
with
action,
a smile, you're telling somebody something, whether it's true or
right?
not. It's just whether
And
it's not true would be then manipulative.
you're doing it to get a reaction out of them. Like if you're smiling at
You're
someone
right.
walking down the street.
It's not
You're doing
necessarily a negative connotation.
right. It's the negative manipulation that is the problem.
It can be neutral. It's like money in friendships or money in any form of
Right.
relationship. Once you put money into a relationship, it makes things more difficult. But if you're just
Yeah.
honest
No.
with it, then it doesn't really matter.
Right. And
And
that's
it's
the
not
whole
really
thing.
manipulation. It's that it's actually, I think that would actually be consideration because you're considering like you know them and you know like what they want, but you also know that
It,
they don't want a disaster. And then
I
you're
mean,
putting something out based on their likes that you think that they would like in order to do the proposal. So it's not really
well,
manipulation, it's
we're getting
consideration of a big surprise for somebody and thinking of them in the surprise instead of yourself.
yeah. I mean, we're getting out in kind of the weeds with that. But I mean, I will
Oh
say
fuck
that
yeah, please, dude. I have detour. Yeah. Give me
yeah,
that's right.
all manipulation
Sure.
is all of it is selfish at the end of the day. But it's just whether or not it's going to cause positive or negative harm. That's the part that
Well,
really
even then, you
matters.
see, the same degree that I'm talking about is no different than your cash register. Your cash register, your
Mm.
cashier. Soon they will just be cash registers, but your cashier. Um, um, fucking. It's no different than when you walk up and and they're just not having that day, but they're giving you that smile.
Right. Right. Well, because the smile that they're giving you means I hope you're having a good day. I hope you find all of the things. I'm doing my job.
See,
Please don't yell at me, so on and so
um,
forth. Right. And those are all
yeah,
selfish motivations, even though they are positive for the customer. Like it
exactly.
is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I deal with a lot of assholes. Just don't be one of them today, and I'm gonna do what I need to make sure that you're not, and I give you a smile, and yep, that's all the things. Sorry, dude, I fucking yell at the manager, please, not me. Let me take this
Yeah.
up a level. I don't want to fucking deal with you today.
Anyway, we've traveled far off the topic here, but
I don't
but
even know,
originally
dude. I'm totally lost. Like I took like four
we
fucking turns.
we were talking about gay marriage as a tax not evasion tool but a tax leniency tool. But as
Oh yeah, dude.
what I was saying
Okay, yes, please.
what I was saying is, as long as you do all of the necessary prep work, it doesn't matter. Like, because yeah, you don't have to be in love to be married. You can be married for any number of reasons, and it doesn't matter as long as it's all state approved or court approved or whatever I guess it is. Then it no longer matters, and I
Well, I
think
mean,
that's a very
also,
interesting thing.
I hear you, but I think it's the evolution, the upgrade to what marriage has been for all of time. I mean, marriage used to be like I can club you over the head without having to worry about another dude clubbing me over the head, so you're mine and dragging your ass in there. That was marriage back then.
Right.
And then eventually
Sure.
came to like peace treaties and trying to get land and move up in status. And
Right.
we're not doing that kind of shit no more because, I mean,
Well, we
why
can't.
not?
Right.
And now the benefit to doing so is just less taxes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other benefits, like you get discounts on insurance and stuff like that. But yeah, basically, it's a monetary thing, and
Yeah,
I think
they
that's
capitalize marriage right under our fucking noses.
yeah, yeah. I
But
fucking
anyways,
hate
that
it.
is a concept I've never been too happy about fucking marriage to begin with because I'm not trying to do any of those things. But now I am trying to lower my taxes. So yes, Andy, let's get married. That's a good.
I mean, like, look, we're
It's
at
not
that
a
age now,
but
though.
yeah,
We are at that age now, though, where our instincts are telling us we need to find a mate, and we need to find them now, and we need to have offspring, and we need to do that stuff,
yeah,
just
we're
like
running out
our
of fucking time. Yeah,
Yeah, our base instincts are saying that, and it
Yeah,
sucks.
but you have, man. Your DNA has been spread. Mine has not, Mister. I have
Yeah,
what,
my
5 kids? Not the average. The average
yeah.
was 7. Everything goes back to averages. You have 5. 9 was the other one. I worked the average back to get
Yeah,
to 5.
I've got five, um, but definitely want to be married though.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And dude, I love you. There's no doubt about it. They could, even if they did do those, now probably considered fucking targeting, profiling, interviews about whether or not you actually love each other or not, or that was just simply a Hollywood thing, whatever. Even if they did do that, we'd pass that test no fucking easy. I know I
Oh,
love
for
you.
sure.
So much shit that I know about you, and we've been
Right.
together since
No,
we were fifth
and
and third grade. So
yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think that's a problem now because when they passed like the I don't want to call it legalization of
discrimination.
gay marriage.
I mean, that's what it was, but
Yeah. But when they did that, all of that stuff kind of went out the window because there were some states that were like that. They were like, oh, if you're actually gay, you actually have to prove it. But now it's more like well, it doesn't. We cannot discriminate any longer. So whatever. So as long as all your shit's taken care of, as far as I'm aware, as long as all your shit's taken care of, you're kind of good to go. Now I could be wrong, and I could be spreading a lot of misinformation, but as far as I
Actually, though, just so we're all aware, I'm probably going to invest in a VPN now that we're doing this because
absolutely.
reasons. Yeah.
I bought one for NordVPN last year for 3 years, and I think
Mm.
it's $160. But so I still got it for 2 years, so I'm definitely using that shit after this. And this is gonna be heavily edited, and some edited might not be in the future because we got a VPN, so it doesn't matter. We can talk about whatever the fuck we want. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's 3 doors. Fucking legally trigger warming me as fast as I can, man. I could have been on the fucking radio. Um, dude, I'm sold. You got me.
yeah no so like
I clearly hear your consent that you would like to be married, and I want to know, Mr.
oh
Huggins,
yeah
will you marry me? Will you do me the honor of being my husband and walking down the virtual aisle with me because we're on opposite sides of the country?
yeah man I will totally marry you if I'm not married to someone else at the end of the year.
I was the best man at your wedding before, and I will be the best man at your wedding again.
You will be the only man at my wedding this time. I love it. No, yeah, for sure. Like if it so ends up happening that I'm oh my god, that would be a weird one to explain though. Like say
To
imagine you're
who?
going on a just imagine you're going on a fifth date with a girl, right? And she's like, "So, do you have kids?" And you're like, "No, no, I don't." Well, technically at that point you would, but whatever. But it was just explaining that she's like, "So are you single?" And you're like, "Well, we're on our fifth date, so probably." But I'm married to another man for tax purposes.
Yeah, see, no,
That
I
would
wouldn't.
just
No, I wouldn't bring that up until we were talking about moving in. And chances are, by that point, she would already know because it would have came up in our conversations. So,
right. And
because
yeah,
if the conversation is being had where we're gonna move in together, then
sure.
at that point she would have met you. I guarantee it. It's gonna be guarantee is gonna be a hard one to edit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
on
I don't think
conversations, she would end up finding out by that point. And at that point, if she's not cool with it, then hey, you do you, whatever. I mean, it doesn't mean that me and you can't get divorced. And then
no, right. I was going to say
if that's
divorce
a
can
big deal
actually
for her, but I mean, now also not only that, but now we can just say, hey, here's a link. Here's my views on marriage. Why don't you listen to my
right.
podcast?
That's true. And and the thing is divorce can actually be very, very cheap if done correctly. Like it costs like $100 if you do it right. Like
Well,
if
also
both
we're not
parties,
gonna eat each other's throats fucking out because we're pissed off to do some marital bullshit that we've been sitting in for
right,
multiple years that we didn't want to be in, but we were anyways, and now we have a chance to legally take out our aggression on one another, so we're gonna fucking put on the gloves and go at it. I mean,
right,
there's
yeah.
not that part of it either.
I mean, shit, we can even sign a prenup too. Like, if it comes down to that, like, just say one of us wins the lottery, and then which this won't happen because
Dude, if I
I
win the
know
lottery,
us.
I'm saying it right now on the podcast recorded, you do you, and I totally understand if you don't. You win the lottery. I win the lottery. I'm splitting that shit with you. Like literally half and half.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck. Whether we're married or not,
bro,
you're getting the other fucking
I'm
half. You do you.
well,
I do not expect you to say that in the slightest, and I'd be surprised if anyone does it. I
no,
can't tell you I'm going to hold on to it because you never know what you're going to do in a situation until you're in that situation. I'm telling you right now what I would want to do at not being
yeah,
in this situation is I would definitely give you half, whether we're married or
well,
not.
I probably wouldn't give you half, but what I would do is I would set you up with all the things that you want. I would be like, oh, you want that bus? Boom, here's the bus. Oh, you want this stuff?
Yeah, I
Boom,
want a
here's
lot
this
of
stuff.
cheap shit too. Well, relatively cheap shit.
You know what I mean?
Cheap shit
That's
for
something
someone
I'd
who
be more than that. That is something I'd be more than willing to do. Is be like, here's all of the shit that you want to do the things that you want. Boom, go have fun.
here's the camera, here's the bus, here's all this stuff to build it. I got a piece of land. Come here and build it and hang out here while you build it. I mean, don't stay too
exactly
long building on your shit.
right,
And fucking that would do me. I would think
right.
I'd total out of your lottery. I would probably take maybe 120 grand, only because out of a few million,
Yeah,
well,
that's not that
20
much.
grand, so I'd be a little bit fancier than if I was trying to do it on my own, making the wages I am now, where I was at almost $20 an hour. But
Right.
it would get me set for probably at least 30 years.
Right. I wouldn't be like, here's half, but I would be like, here's enough to get you going for the next 10 to 20 years fairly comfortably. Go have fun, bud. Like it would be like that for me. Like honestly, like you are
And that
definitely
would
one of the best
on
friends
my
I've ever had.
price. Like, hey, dude, you win the lottery, give me 120 grand and somewhere to build it, and I'll be good for 30 years. That's my price for it. I'll give you half. I'll give you 130 grand, or I'll take 130
Right.
grand if you win the lottery,
I
because that's
couldn't,
all.
but that's
I'll make it work within that amount, and I'll be good for 30
yeah.
years. And I'm not trying to
I
win
couldn't.
or whatever. I just went down that
Yeah.
rabbit hole.
You're okay. No, I'm just saying, like, I probably wouldn't give you half because I'm human, but I would
Yeah.
definitely make sure you're set up for whatever you want to do. But thinking of half of a lottery winning, those things are like 300 to 300 to 600 million consistently.
Yeah, but I only want 120 grand, so giving you half would be cake. I'd be set for the rest of my life and just throwing money around as I traveled around the country and
Sure.
busted it.
Well, if
So
I
I mean,
if I
all
got
I need is 120 grand, and I can make that work being comfortable for 30 years. That's significantly
yes,
longer than that. I'm just doing like complications, with like the end of the world and fucking
yeah,
climate change, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, bus doesn't get you too far when you're driving over an ocean. Um,
yeah.
but
Well,
but either
it
way,
is. What it is.
all I would need is 120 grand, so I have no problem giving you half and then just spreading the other half to whoever happens to be on my bus while I'm riding around for that period of time.
Sure.
Let's have like a bomb ass time. It's just show me the town and show me some fucking nightlife, give me some good dinner, and you're coming along with me, and I'm paying for all of it. That's what I would do with the other
Oh,
half.
if
Then
one of us won the lottery, we would go on a very very long road trip, a very long road trip, like a very long road trip.
yeah, about 30 years, maybe 60.
Uh, yeah, possibly, yeah,
Hey, look at
yeah.
that dude.
I mean,
Look at that dude. We're getting married and we're already planning our retirement. Are we moving too fast?
we're gonna go traveling in our
Dude,
RV.
dude, we are moving way too fast. Like we're already planning our future together. How are we not married yet? I love you, dude.
What do you mean we're moving too fast, Ryan? We've known each other
No,
since I was in the third
I was
grade.
asking if we're moving too fast. I'm not saying we are moving too fast. I was asking if we're moving too fast. If it's just
Oh, okay.
because I'm comfy
No,
where I'm. I like the idea, dude. I'm sitting in a poncho on my couch with my dog in the stomach up. I really want. I wish I was recording this, but I feel like an old lady.
yeah, we're gonna make OBS a thing. I like this a lot, but we're gonna make OBS a thing because what? Who is Tom Segura? Segura? Segura?
Cigarette?
Who the
I
fuck
want a
is that?
cigarette. I have no idea what you're trying to say, but
No,
I'll have a cigarette.
it's Tom Segura. Segura. Tom Segura. Segura. I don't even know who this dude is. I am
I don't even
so out of the loop on
cigarette.
pop
You'll have
culture. Did that say Penguin Porn House? No, it didn't. Okay.
dude. Porn house? What? Why the fuck is
Penguin.
the door?
I am Someone texted me about Tom Segura.
Hey, dude, can you stay on the line with me for a minute? Oh, I guess we're recording, so you're going to. But this
Yeah, we're
door's open.
recording. I'm here, man.
Grab my fucking flashlight. That's fair fucking dude. Or dudette. Because that's not all I'm
You're
fucking.
good.
That door better fucking be open for wind. Nature better open that fucking door.
Yeah, you're okay. I'm going to
You know,
switch to my
while I'm in here grabbing my light and other thing,
uh
just to give you a heads up, I'm good. That was simply fair warning. I'm in a good state of mind. I do have my gun in my hand. And I'm grabbing a flashlight.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
Okay.
No, anyway, I think that would be just an amazing thing. But the chances or the odds, at least, of us winning the lottery is just so few and far between. I don't think that's ever going to come up ever in our lifetimes, or at least in the multiverse of lifetimes. It is a super low
Oh shit.
chance. So fuck it, it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but it's still a fucking fun conversation.
Oh, I love talking about it. It's like, do you remember all the zombie conversations that we
Oh, my
used to
phone's
have?
in my
Oh,
hand. I'm a fucking dumbass. I'm in the right state of mind. Oh, my phone's in my hand as my fucking flashlight. Oh shit, the fucking door's open.
I need
All
to
right, I'll
find
get
the
my
fucking
phone.
flashlight.
That's my flashlight. All
Here,
right.
I'm gonna switch back to my other headset because my phone is now at 50%, which is perfect. And I'm going to get off these goddamn fucking Bluetooths because I hate the Bluetooth.
Dude, I'm fucking currently clearing a house right now, and I'm giving a voice indication after every I want to shoot a motherfucker. So if you don't surprise me, I'm not going to shoot your ass. If you fucking surprise me,
Okay.
you're goddamn body. So if you're in here, something, and
Oh, I didn't realize you were clearing your house.
just 2 pounds of pressure instead of the fucking 6, with the hammer cock back and the lack of safety on the 6-hour P220 45 millimeter.
I do love hammer fired weaponry. I know that you're going through a thing right now, but I'm drunk enough to where I can't relate.
All right,
So
I'm clear.
you're good. Okay,
No,
I feel you.
it's actually the abandoned house next door. Both the doors were open, and I don't remember them being open the last time I was out here. Because they are never. At first, I just saw the
Right.
screen door was open, but then after I went and got the flashlight and the other thing, I saw that the other door was open, and that's why I'm glad I was there talking you through it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put holes in people, and I'm giving enough warning as I possibly can.
I feel you. You know, yeah. Anyway, but I would like to be married to a woman at some point.
Well, I get you, but I mean, there's
Yeah.
also divorce. I mean, that's the thing too, and like we were talking about, it's not that big a deal.
You're not
It's
wrong.
we're not pulling the fucking boxing gloves out.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. I'm sick of the fucking world at this point. It's
Oh, I
just
was
like
having a
what?
cigarette. Fucking door. I wanted a cigarette. He said Saguma Numino, whatever the fuck the thing was, but I heard cigarette.
Segura. Tom
And then
Segura.
I wanted a fucking cigarette, and then the
Segura.
goddamn door's open. Nature, thank you, but no thank you. I want a cigarette.
Oh, you know what I haven't? You know what I haven't been doing that I kind of miss doing?
What's that?
Carrying my gun. I just don't do it anymore. I don't know why. Honestly, actually, the reason why is because Rachel kind of
Oh,
poo-pooed it for a little while. She didn't
mhm.
she didn't hard poo-poo it, but she was just kind of like weird about it every so often. So I just stopped doing it. And now that we're not together anymore, I'm just gonna fucking carry that bitch everywhere I go.
I mean, you do you. I'm not a big fan of it. Mine doesn't go
Mm,
with me anywhere. It did obviously when I was living in there. Um, Mine's
sure.
where it's at, and it stays there. Any other situation that I'm in, other than like at the house where I'm possibly sleeping,
Uh-huh.
or around a house, an abandoned house where somebody could be trying to fucking squat, and I don't know who the
Yeah.
fuck they are, and I have really badass neighbors, and I
Right.
don't want the situation ruined or them, any of that kind of deal.
No,
And
yeah,
that,
you like your neighbors. I get you.
yeah, exactly. So, and that's where that needs to be. I don't if I'm in a vehicle and I'm out somewhere and some shit happens like that. you know what? I'm good with helping out, getting as many people out of the situation as possible. I'm not down. My goal is to not put holes in people. Hence the reason why I was talking to. And if you have
Yeah,
one on you, you're more likely to do so. And so I limit those odds. And that's why I was trying to talk while I was saying it. Say, hey, dude, I don't want to fucking put a hole in you. Just don't surprise me and just come out and you're cool.
right.
Just you're right next door to my house. You have to get into the yard that I share with my dog in order
Well,
to get into that building. And I'm not comfortable with that. But I don't want to put holes in you because of that. So that's how
well,
I look at it. That's why I was
I,
talking to
I
giving
feel
as
you.
much warning as possible in case that was the case.
No, I think that's the right approach. If you're clearing a house, speaking clearly and divulging your intent is very, very important
Yeah, because they're
because they're
hiding in a fucking corner waiting for you to turn a corner in
right.
order to
Well,
whack
and
you with a fucking lead pipe. But if you're like
right,
that, hey, dude, you're free to go. I ain't gonna fucking put a hole in you. Then maybe they're like, oh, okay, hey, I'm here. We're all good.
right. Well,
And you're
and not
obviously not a cop, so
yeah, and well, not to mention that there's so many advantages you gain from it just tactically alone. If you can be, let's just say, threatening enough for someone to be like, oh, he's got a gun, I don't win this fight, so then they pop out instead of fighting you. Well, that's a big win right there. You didn't have to
precisely.
shoot someone, and so on and so forth. Or if you can get them to go, oh shit, like say their only intent is to fight. Let's just say whatever, but now you know that they're actually there. Oh, now you're less surprised when you see them. Like there's just so many advantages you gain from it that there's no reason not to, other than you're giving away your position, which is a negative, let's just say. But at the same time,
It really,
there's a possibility to gain.
to me, I think especially in that case, the motivation would be significantly less to fight, depending on, of course, like the drug and mental situation and whatnot. But because it's an
Right.
abandoned place and there's nothing in there really to steal. I mean, I got a bike, I got some oil and a washing dryer. You ain't fucking walking out with a washing dryer. Maybe the bike. Okay, so what? The oil, what the fuck you gonna
Uh,
do with that?
wait,
Um,
are you
but
using this abandoned? I'm sorry. Are you using the abandoned house as a storage? Because that's fucking legit. If you are.
well, I mean, kind of in that I don't want to keep a washer and dryer downstairs, and they're not going to rent the place because they're going to destroy it. So it's just kind of sitting there. If they tell me to, fuck it, I'll carry it down to the storage unit downstairs. But they haven't said anything, and they don't know about it, or maybe they do and they just don't care.
Yeah.
I haven't
Wait.
volunteered that information.
So, with time being a little wobbly sometimes, kind of wibbly and wobbly, um, we recorded what you just listened to on the 31st. What's going to be coming up, we recorded on the night of the 30th. Um, that was our very first recording and messing with the system and whatnot. It's kind of choppy because there's a lot of cut in and cut outs. This is where a lot of the technical difficulties weren't quite smoothed out yet. We're working our way there. And just want to give you a heads up that what you just listened to was recorded on the 31st, and what you're about to listen to was recorded on the night of the 30th.
I see. Okay. Hmm.
Symptoms as well. Normally laugh.
I would like I would like to get some quality headphones like this, but that were wireless, like actually Bluetooth, that I could actually charge my phone at the same time as using the headphones. That would be really nice.
And this is where your advertisement could be.
For now,
And
for now,
certainly
we'll
a
just
possibility, but yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do the thing, bro. Yeah. So what's up, buddy? How you been?
Recently, a little wobbly.
A little wobbly. Yeah.
A little bit of the wobbles.
Do you want to introduce us or?
Hey, Mr. Hugging Kiss, how you be?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm wobbly. I've been wobbly, being honest. And
Yeah. Yeah, when I say I'm doing good, I've been better in life, but I am definitely trying. Is what I mean by good. you know.
uh, yeah, and of course, complaining doesn't really do a whole lot except for get it off your chest, which is pretty important.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think we'll get there one day. Right now, you wanna let's talk about some stuff in the past.
Well, sure. Well, let's tell anyone who might be listening. What's your name, man? Where do you live? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am currently the tiger in the zoo. So I live where they call it the Zoo Town, and I got my dog. We go to the dog parks, hang out. Beautiful weather right now. Weather was shitty the last couple weeks, but no, the weather's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Plenty of dog parks. Being by a river is so nice. Originally coming from Arizona, there's
Yeah.
hardly ever any water, let alone clouds. Like I didn't realize how wet clouds were until I got here. They're made of moisture, but I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't know how wet they were until I got here. Bob Ross died painting this guy up here.
Jeez, man, that's pretty epic. Honestly, I would love to come up there and see that sometime.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Life, man.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult.
Yeah, I am. I'm Mr. Hug and Kiss. I am from the Arizona. The state of outside is an oven. Yeah, I got a bunch of kids that I love a lot, but I don't get to spend enough time with. And I mean, that's basically me. I'm a lover and a thinker. I'm a dreamer. Some might even say. But yeah, well, now that we got that over with, man, we've known each other
Well,
for a really, really long time, actually, at this point.
was it middle school that we met, or was it before that? I want to say middle school.
Yeah, it was about that time. I would say, gosh, I was probably in the third grade when I first met you, like saw you face to face. I believe I was in the third grade. I went to class with your sister, right?
Yeah, and so
Yes.
that would put me in fifth grade. So yeah, it was just before middle school at that point. I know my sister was the connection between us. I just
Yeah.
pinpoint when it happened.
No, sure, right. That's what I'm saying. I believe I was in the third grade, you were in the fifth grade, and that would put us the year something.
Yeah, I don't want to do that math right now.
Yeah. We
Around
can figure.
that time, it was in the
Yeah,
'90s. I
it
know that.
was. It was in the '90s. That is true. Yeah, man. We went to school in a little shit town called Florence, Arizona. I don't know if you want to bleep that out or not, but I don't really
Nah,
care personally. Yeah, I mean, it was a little prison town that got set up, for all of the employees there and other families that were visiting their people. I guess that's I don't know if that's
no,
a thing.
that's kind of what Coolidge is, because I'm pretty sure that the families of those that are in the prison aren't allowed to live in the same town.
Sure,
Like
you're probably
throwing
right.
contraband over the fence kind of deal is really easy when you live right there. Granted, Coolidge
Right.
ain't that far, so you can still do it.
Yeah, it's
But
about
it's
5 miles away.
rules. So yeah, Florence was built because it's out in the middle of nowhere, and they needed people to live there in order to run the prison. So then Florence came up, and Coolidge came up because there were people in the prison that had families.
Right.
That's kind of
Yeah.
what Florence and Coolidge are.
Yeah. Kind of disgusting places to live. I
Did
mean,
they have more than one traffic light before you left? Because they didn't when I left. They had just the one.
well, I guess now-ish they have about 4 or 5.
Oh wow, yeah, they're
Yeah.
really coming up now.
Yep, they got 2 Circle K's and a McDonald's, man. Oh no, they got 2 McDonald's now. I forgot.
Wow,
Yeah.
I got. I remember one Circle K. I don't really remember. I don't. There wasn't a McDonald's. There was that Burger King, running from the middle school on those off school lunches or those off campus lunches. Running to the Burger King those couple times. It was
Right.
just enough time to get there and hope that you got just the right window between the high schoolers that was right next door to the Burger King,
Right.
and then getting your food and then running back or eating it while you're walking back because we weren't really running. We were just walking real fast. But it was an hour with how long that thing was. That was
Yeah.
I remember doing that a few times.
I mean, gosh, I was only in like the third grade at that point, and then I believe for fourth or fifth grade, I don't remember the school that was set up by my house and eventually your house, right? Because you guys moved from Florence over to Johnson Ranch, right?
Yeah.
And then you guys got a house over there as well, and then they built the middle school there. But I believe you were. Did you keep going to Florence at that point? I don't remember.
I finished middle school in Florence and then went to
Yeah.
Higley.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Higley, yeah, that was kind of the start of our like the biggest start of our burgeoning relationship. Some would some could say.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the things to let the other podcasters know is that it has been a long time. That was the '90s, and we're currently in 21, where when we're recording this. So yeah, we've known each other a long time. Our paths have continually bumped into each other with good pauses in between.
yeah.
Uh, we definitely took different treks in life. That is for sure. But we're still kindred spirits.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it is kind of interesting. I mean, we grew up within 10 miles of each other, right? And we had very different families, and I do think it's actually interesting how each of us turned out. I mean, you have more of like a left-leaning approach to things, where I have a more right-leaning. I'll just say it. We obviously come together on certain things. I think we're both fairly in the center, like politically on things, but there are definitely things that you go left and I kind of go right on. I don't think either of us are too extreme, but maybe some people would disagree with that. So
Well, I mean, there's always that 10% on the extremes that thinks that everybody who doesn't have their opinions is the extremes. But that's the way the world goes. There's 10% in everything. There's that coworker that everyone's always picking up slack for. There's
yeah,
that person that just was looking to be offended, even if it doesn't affect them in any way whatsoever. That's
right,
just that's the way of the world. So there's always going to be those, which is why currently, anyways, I don't have Twitter.
yeah,
Um, but it's probably going to end up with one doing
yeah. I
this.
was gonna say you're probably gonna have to change that.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even have any of the Facebook or anything set up. I was going to do that, but then chaos rolled through. So
Yeah,
well, I still need to get on that.
yeah. I have a Facebook still, but it's a very personal. Like it's a personal one. You know, it'd be for mine and my family, and I probably making a new one at this rate, just because it would
Well,
probably
you can
be
do
better.
I'm pretty sure you can do like professional pages that detach from your personal, so there isn't a link to it.
Oh, really?
At least I would hope so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because that's what I was going to set up too. Because I've been off of Facebook now for what, a year. Been
Mm-hmm.
totally off, completely deleted the profile, went all the way through, downloaded all the things that they had on there,
Right.
that I had posted all of my content that I created for them to sell, sell me advertisement for. Downloaded all
Yeah.
that, completely deleted the profile. So I will be starting. I'm actually curious to see if I actually start from scratch, or if they're
Sure.
like, "Hey, remember how you're welcome back? Guess what we might have for you? Do you want it? You didn't actually get rid of it."
Yeah.
That I'm kind of curious to see how that works out.
Yeah, it's always terrifying how much they know about you actually. Like they're always listening into everything you're saying. Like I remember me and my ex were talking about getting me a little pocket knife just for whatever reason. We had like literally one conversation about it. And then for the next like 6 months I was getting advertisement for pocket knives, hunting knives, like skinning knives, fishing knives, all the like the entire works, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's fucking terrifying."
Yeah, no, I hear you there. Um, and it's similar to like what was going on with that's why I'm curious about what's going on with Facebook, because Snapchat
Sure.
also said they deleted all that shit,
Yeah.
but then they got hacked and everything got released. And it's like, oh yeah, we don't really delete that stuff. So it's kind of like, I'm curious to see where it goes with Facebook. Although I'm guessing
Yeah.
probably would have come out with it by now if that was the case.
Yeah, more. It's probably very likely that they would have. I don't know. Um,
But anyways,
yeah, no, I just just interesting tidbits.
yeah, now that
I
we're
have.
out of the logistical part tangent that we went on.
Yeah, well, that's probably gonna end up happening a lot. No, I haven't been on social media for about 4 years, 3 4 years, something like that. I think my last like actual post was in like 2017 2018 period. I don't know, I could go look. I still have the thing, because when I stopped doing it, you couldn't delete your account without like calling them. You can now apparently, but you
Yeah,
couldn't
I
before.
did it all through the settings. So,
Right, so that's interesting.
dude,
But
Planet Fitness does that shit. They got like 40 extra bucks out of me because they require you, like, you can go in and be like, I want a 3 month suspension. Like, I don't want
yeah.
to be able to use my things for 3 months. You can't charge me for 3 months and then get back into it. But
Uh-huh.
you cannot end your subscription to them without giving them a written notice saying that you want to end
Wait,
it.
what
And
company is this?
Planet Fitness, the gym,
Oh, really?
yeah, you have to actually hand them something in writing. So you have to either print it out or have a piece of paper and a pen.
Huh.
These archaic knuckleheads. And basically what it is it's $10 a month. How many times can we milk somebody who's getting out of doing it?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I realized, okay, this is now it's like $50 and I haven't given him a piece of paper. I'm going to give him a piece of paper now. They do that out of every person. That's still a boatload of money, but that's some shady dealing now.
I agree. I don't know how places can do that. Like I said with Facebook, you couldn't delete it. You know, like, oh, that's just crazy. I currently have a Planet Fitness thing. I like it there. I think it's a little. I understand their business model, right? Like this is for the person who doesn't want to be judged, and I totally understand that. I really do. But at the same time, you know, people that are into fitness can't go there. Like they can't go be into fitness because if they're sweating too hard, the lunk alarm goes off. You know,
Really?
well,
I
okay,
never had that.
not literally, but you know, they have it's the no judgment zone, like the oh my god, the sire the thingy the booby the thingamabooby. You know what I'm talking about? The
No,
alarm.
actually, I didn't know
So
there
there,
was an.
yeah, there's an alarm. So if you drop the weights or if you make too loud like of a grunt or something, it'll go off, and it's called the lunk alarm.
Oh, I wasn't aware that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I only
yeah,
went there. I think I went there a total of like 7 times because this was back in before the vaccines and whatnot started coming out. And I was going like super late at night, so there was maybe two
ah,
other people there. Yeah, I was going like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, kind of deal.
yeah. The
So
thing
I
is,
made and I was getting like the last cleanup of whatever they do. Plus, I was sanitizing it myself, and there was nobody there because
right.
nobody was wearing masks.
Hmm.
I'm not going to do this. I got friends that are immunocompromised. I'm not taking any risks because I want to hang out with those people. So and so I went super late at night. So I'd never heard the lunk alarm. I'm not allowed anything, even
Yeah.
orgasms. Pretty quiet. So there's definitely a change in my breath and maybe a grunt if I curls toe, but that's really about it.
Sure. Do you said if your curls toe? By the way, I want to point that out. That's amazing. I love that.
Oh,
That is
okay,
that is
cool.
that is good. I'm going to use that now from literally now on. Girl,
Hey,
I'm going to make your curls toe.
I was in the moment. I was talking about it. I saw it coming. I went in the moment, and that's what I would have said when my curls were towing.
Yeah, that's right. No, I see. I love it. I think it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, I remember when we first started becoming friends, you know, like actual friends, because you know we were
Back
acquaintances for a
before we
while.
knew what curls towing was. Yep, yep.
Well,
And
yeah,
all.
basically. Yeah, you know, I remember. Gosh, we were in. Yeah, it would be my freshman year of high school, and I was this you know scared kid walking into this you know giant band room. I remember because we were doing marching band, and we started like a week early before school, and we had this tiny demon of a lady that was our band instructor,
Oh,
Miss
I remember her name now. I was trying to put place it the other day, but I just remembered it while you were describing all that.
Miss Ganader, right?
Yeah, Miss Canadian. Yep.
Yeah, she was something, man. You know, and look, I like Texas. I do. I like the attitude that Texans have. I like the state. I like all the stuff. I grew up a little well. I spent like years from 3 to 6 or 7 in Texas. Regardless though, I do think that it is just so overhyped sometimes.
Well,
But you know, it is
El
what it
Paso
is.
is different than Austin. Texas is a
Hmm,
big, big place. So, like, what
that's
part
true.
were you in?
I was in Lubbock.
Oh, okay. I think my dad's from Lubbock, actually.
Nice.
By the way,
Nice.
when I
Yeah.
say, and to me, and for the listeners out there as well, so that they're aware, when I say dad, I mean my dad. When I say father, I mean my father, and they are not the same person. But that is a definition for which that I.
Yeah.
So that, but
No,
I'm
for
pretty sure
sure.
my dad is from Lubbock, or he's got a lot of family in Lubbock. I'm not sure which, but I want to say he's from Lubbock.
Right.
But that would have been like 30 years, 40
No, for
years
sure. And you know, and I was so young at the time that I barely remember snippets. Like I remember the house, and I remember, or like at least some of the house, and I remember a tree in our backyard and like a little tire swing. That's really all I remember,
Dude, I got a couple of
honestly.
those from I got a couple of those too that I'm not sure which houses were where. But
Right.
yeah, no, I got a couple. I remember 3 houses from when I was young enough. And I don't know how many of the pieces were actually in those houses and how many of them are mixed up or even the events.
Right.
So yeah, remembering stuff from that far in the youth is kind of questionable to begin with.
Yeah, no, I agree, especially once you hit like 30, 40, 50 like we are, Oh god. Okay, we're not we're not actually 50 years old.
No, let's not slide down that ladder just yet.
Back in my day. Oh yeah.
Get
No,
off.
but I just remember walking in as, this gosh, nervous, chunky white kid walking into a room full of other nervous, chunky white kids, and being like, oh man, this is much different than I've ever experienced. Because we came from that. I came from we came from that small town, Florence, going to this, perspectively also small high school, but it was still a much larger congregation than I
Well, yeah,
had really.
we went from a graduating class that was barely in the triple digits to a graduating, as far as the high schools were concerned, to give an idea
Right.
as to the populations in the area. Um, they had maybe triple digits graduating per class, and there may have been more in the class, but significant amount of them dropped out or failed or whatever because it's a small town and all there really is to do is have sex and drugs, and you get a lot of dropouts.
That's absolutely true. Hey, you are kind of cutting out. I don't know what's going on, but you are kind of cutting out. For me, at least. I don't know.
Maybe the battery's dying. Is it good now?
So far, I'll let you know if it.
I moved it a little bit closer, but I have my other one prepped just in case, and I'm marking the time so we can possibly cut this out. 25:38. All right.
Also, it could just be cutting out for me and not you. So I don't know.
Well, I need to mark the time anyways, and we'll check it.
Yeah.
And by the way, obviously, this is the first podcast, so there might be technical issues, and we're just kind of playing around. We don't even know if we're going to publish this, but we're just checking it out and seeing what's going on. So bear with us. Hopefully, within a few episodes, we got most of it figured out. But
yeah, definitely.
with Florence, barely in the triple digits of graduating. In Higley, they were pushing or over 4 digits. So that's the schools that we're going for, to and from. Yes.
Right. Going from a couple hundred to maybe 1,000 or two, and now I think they're. I don't think they're 3A, but I definitely think that they're still 2A. Maybe they have gone up though. I know that they did some construction and they added some new buildings over there. The last time I drove by, at least. So they could be bigger. Don't know. Whatever. But it was super interesting walking into that situation and just being like, "Fuck! I barely know any of the people here, and holy crap, this is kind of terrifying." Except for I knew your sister, and that was, and I knew some of the other kids. Some of the other kids came from Florence as well, and they were in band from the middle school, and they came over with, but I mean they weren't super good friends of mine, and I do remember just. I remember seeing you and being like, "Oh, I know that guy," and we kind of hit it off. We were talking about it, and you kind of like older brothered me through a lot of different things there, and I want to say I appreciate that a lot. By the way.
Well, thank you. I wasn't aware that I was doing it.
Well, it is what it is.
Hey, you're a cool dude. I love hanging out with you. Obviously, 'cause I mean, we're back here again.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing, and that is kind of my tendency, anyways. Like one of my things is I've always dated women that every woman I've ever seriously dated has been in the medical field in some way or another.
Okay.
And I've always been a bit of a caretaker. Let me take you under my wing. Let me go hang out with the oddball group. And I don't know. I just always look for damage. I'm good at finding damage. And I'm not saying you were damaged at all.
Oh.
But I'm good at like seeing someone and then being like, hey, come on. We're good.
Come with me. Yeah. No, and I see that a lot, and I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, I appreciated it then. I think obviously I was a damaged teenager. Which teenager isn't damaged? If you can point them out. That's all I gotta say.
Really? No.
Something.
Yeah, you can go ahead and point them out, but when you do, I'm going to show you that it's all a facade and there actually are damaged. They're just really good at acting, and it's probably going to make it big if they look good enough to be on camera.
Right. No, yeah. Uh, but yeah, man, I just remember going through all of that. Like, I remember all of the people, and as our high school progressed, obviously, we made friends, we made our we'll call them enemies for now. Obviously, everyone was just like a hormonal teenager that just wanted to have sex and experience new things. But it was so very life changing to walk into a place like that with all of those people. I remember the first morning, some kid got kicked out because at the band camp he had shoved like a trumpet mouthpiece up his ass or someone else's ass or something like that.
Yeah.
And someone ended up playing on it, and it was like a big thing. And then I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm getting into. Fuck. Like, oh no.
This is what band camp is. Holy cow!
Exactly, right? Like, it was one
But
of
I think
those
that
things.
was before American Pie, actually. That might have been before American Pie and the apple pie pancake thing. I don't know. I have to check the dates on that.
I
Work
think
or
it was I think it was close. Maybe American Pie was out just a little bit before that, but
that probably gave the kid the idea, but he didn't have a pussy to put it in, so he put it in his ass. He found another hole.
I mean, what is an ass if not a pussy? Let's be real, I guess.
I mean, it's a little bit dirtier, but hey, a little bit dirtier is definitely fun for a little bit.
Oh my God, that's so good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you
Dude, it might have
remember?
been. It might have been. Let's see. I know because I was 02 to 06, so you would have been 04 to 08.
Yep.
So no, the American Pie had just come out, and the kid probably just watched it because it was July 9th, 1999 is the release date of the original American Pie.
Right.
So that's probably where the kid got the because then I was there 02 to 06.
Right.
Or maybe it was 01 to 06 because 06 is when I graduated, but the years are weird because it goes over a year. But anyways, whatever. The American Pie, the original American Pie anyway, was out. So that's probably where that kid got that idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably something like that, or he was just, some fucking hormonal teenager who was like, that can fit in my butt, and
this dude's a douchebag, which we are all fully aware of.
Oh yeah. Gosh. The amount of douchebags that you encounter in your life is just it's awe-inspiring. I will say that for the longest time, that whole section of the trumpet players, I remember them specifically because they were all just so fucking full of themselves. And then fast forward like 5 to 7 years, and I'm sitting in a room smoking copious amounts of weed through all of the instruments, imaginable with every one of them. And I was just like, this is a very interesting turn of life. That is super weird.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happens when you have like heaps of attention thrown on you because you're all forced. That's one of the reasons why I don't hit on chicks when they're working.
Sure.
It's kind of seeing that perspective. It's like we have to go to school, so we're in these classes together. So you're kind of forced to be there and interact with one another. And I mean, granted, you don't have to interact. There's plenty that didn't interact. They just sat in the back of the room, did their thing, or even sat in the middle of the room and just kind of kept their head down and did whatever and moved on. But then once they get out, they're like, oh shit, I have to earn my attention now. I can't just, it's not just gonna happen because it comes to me and I go to it in the central location that we're all forced to. And then the barriers break down. But they were in a place where they were forced to get attention. They were hot and they were confident, and so they didn't. That's one of the main reasons why I believe, anyways, they were douchebags. And then once they got out, then yeah, it's a totally different story. Because I remember them too. Like I hung out with. I don't really want to go through and edit all the names on this one because I'm already too deep into this one.
Sure.
But which is nothing special. It's cheap shit, but I wanted something fruity, and it's pretty expensive Boone's Farm. So like $7 instead of $3.50.
No, yeah.
Well, either way, the trumpet section. I hung out with all of them after in high school too. I think only once or twice with you actually.
Yeah, it was only a couple. Well, I had encounters with them later on, and some of my other friends. But no, us together only hung out with them just a few times. But that few times was for like literally a week straight, though, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that kind of happens. We kind of every time we've gotten together, we've just kind of set up shop wherever we were at, and
Yeah.
then everyone's cool with it. We're just like, hey, how you doing? Let's break some
Right.
bread. We're breaking bread again, and no one realizes it until it's like, oh shit, it's
Yeah.
been 3 weeks. It's been 6 months.
Yeah. Because I remember I was living at that shitty apartment with some of the kids that I was friends with. It like there was like 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? And you like showed up, and you were like, "Hey, we're gonna go do stuff." And then we went bowling, and then we met up with one of those dudes, and then we went over there, and then everyone was like just getting super high, and then we just stayed there for like the next week. Like we were just there for a week,
Yeah.
and it was interesting. Hello.
With
Y-
that, because that was pretty much every time it happened. That was the case.
Yeah. You are hard cutting out, by the way.
I just shut my Wi-Fi off because I was going to go bum a smoke from another instead of going. I didn't realize I was down to only 4.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we can. I mean, we can cut it out. You're kind of cutting out now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I probably need to be on the Wi-Fi, and the signal's probably not strong enough to do that too.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and write down 35, 50. 3550. We'll check that spot. 3550, and then you can edit from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. AD. All right, I'm coming.
He's
Hey guys.
coming out. He wants the world to know.
Oh, the latch, and there we go. It's latched. Is that all right if I bum a smoke from you? I can see. Okay, I apologize. Thank you. All right. So, anyways, we're every. So there,
Where
dude.
were we? Okay.
I need to switch over to the other ear.
Well, so you know what we could do? Well, shit. Actually, it doesn't really matter because we can edit all this stuff out. I was actually going to run up to the gas station too because if you're drinking, I want to be as well. Because you know what? Fuck the world.
All right. And we can cut and paste all we want, so that works.
And I'll go get some too. Oh shit! Now you're back in my ear. I didn't push any buttons, but somehow you just went back into my ear. Was it because I had it upside down?
I have no earthly idea, my guy. Zero.
Yeah, I literally was just looking at it, and then you popped into my ear. Maybe I am a techno wizard.
You are the techno wizard. You are the emperor of man.
Hey, dude, I manifested pizza and your drink through the phone, and once through the phone, and once through the computer. So,
That is quite true.
granted, that involved acid, but hey,
Well, yeah.
PC's a curse. Sometimes you got to pick it up.
Sometimes you gotta pick that shit up. Yeah.
Sorry.
No
But-
worries, you're good. Oh fuck!
So the paper was good, no issues. I can load the title page, so you can allow me to reload it and reprocess. So I was a little pissed at the time you decided to pop by and ask for the phone.
Totally inconvenient. I appreciate it.
Especially since the fact that it's there and I've told you multiple times you can just take them.
I know, and I do, but when you're there, I feel bad doing it without asking. So, but I get it, and I hope everything works out on that. It sucks you're not getting full points, especially just for a fucking title page. That's a bullshit. Like the content is should be what matters more than the presentation.
Yeah.
Should be a heavier weight anyway, significantly so. Yeah. Everyone's got their quirks.
Also, they were told him, like, okay, well, Dell's got bird and didn't look up. It's my grandfather's cat. Didn't go ahead and discuss like PTSD because my cousin had. These are normal vernacular and in my family. So I don't have a reference for it. I need a reference.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that.
So he's like, yeah, no, I understand. That's no big deal. You're not gonna get marked down for that or anything. But if you can find some references for me, I'd appreciate it. I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah.
Yeah, I would assume I haven't read any, I've only written a couple of papers for school, but I would assume I get none of them involve me references things that I know or things that are in my common vernacular that I don't think would be outside of the common vernacular.
Generally speaking, no. Fire thing,
Hmm.
but his format was pretty weapon. So I didn't need it for anything.
The gray area kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's obviously so that's not one to mark me down on. He asked me the title.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm a little annoyed.
I hear that. I hear that.
Do on Thursday, then I'm going to take
Ooh,
no, that was got off work early on Thursday. I fuck I don't know. Notepad sitting on my computer. I just didn't post it.
oh,
I did it while I was working, and then I hopped off of work early, and then just forgot.
yeah. No, I'm right there with you. When I get off work, I just empty that shit, just gone. Because learning that from being a trucker, that's the only way that you can deal. At least for me as a trucker, anyways, was once I hit off duty, I was off duty. Everything is gone from that day. All that bad traffic and energy is gone. I'm gonna do my thing. It's the only way I can sleep enough hours within that 10-hour break to do it. And I haven't been able to break it. So I like being able to just like plunge everything from that day and move on. But appreciate it. I don't know if my buddy's still there. You still there, Andy?
So that was us. Like I said in the beginning, there are some rough cuts. But either way, we're just trying it out. First time doing it. First time even playing with this editing program and just kind of goofing around with it, seeing where it goes. Hopefully you got some patience with us. Hopefully we're interesting enough you want to possibly subscribe. I don't use the notification bell. I hate notifications on my phone. But if you want to hit the notification bell, feel free to do so. I mean, I'd appreciate it. Um, don't know our frequency yet. I'm not sure how often we're going to post, what exactly we're going to post. Still just kind of playing around with everything, seeing how everything works. So, hope you see us soon. Deuces.